information with your band?
Do what?
Band.
Oh, I'm to it.
Today's date is September 19th, 2016. It is 9:39 in the morning by my watch. This will be an interview with Officer Betty Shelby in regards to an officer-involved shooting on 9/16/2016 at 2300 East 36th Street North. Case file 2016-058-561. Present with me, Sergeant Dave Walker, is Officer Shelby and represented by Attorney Scott Wood. Can I call you Betty?
Yes.
How are you employed?
I work for Tulsa Police Department. I'm a patrol officer.
Okay, I'm having a hard time hearing you just a little bit, so I'm going to scoot up.
I work for the Tulsa Police Department. I'm a patrol officer.
And where are you assigned?
GID.
Adam Squad?
Adam Squad,
Third
yes.
shift?
Third shift, 3 beat.
And so your designator is?
Adam 303.
And what are your days off?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay, and September 16th would have been a Friday?
Yes.
And that was a normal work day for you?
Yes.
Okay. What's your chain of command?
Corporal C.J. Jackson, Sergeant Clay Asbill, Captain Carlisle, and Major Franklin.
Okay, and how long have you been in 3 Adam?
I'm starting my 2nd year.
Okay. And what are the times of your shift?
I come on duty at 1400. Squad meetings at 1345. But we start taking calls at 1400, and then the end of my shift is midnight.
Okay. And what's your normal sleep pattern before you go to work?
I get about 8 hours of sleep.
And so this would have been a Friday afternoon. What time did you arrive at GID for squad meeting at 13:45?
I got there at 13:35 because I gotta get gas and get the car ready
Okay.
for work.
And I'm glad you said car. What is your car number?
16002.
And is that equipped with an in-car camera?
It is.
And do you have a body mic that goes with that?
Yes.
And we're talking about your sleep issue or your sleep pattern on Thursday night, Friday morning. Was that a normal night's rest?
Yes.
Okay. And you say you normally get 8 hours of sleep?
Yes.
Okay. And do you take any prescribed medication?
No.
Medication?
No.
Any illegal medication?
No.
Okay. So is Friday, is everything normal for you?
Yes.
Going to work? Anything happen in that shift prior to 1940 hours that would be remarkable?
No.
Okay, and you're dressed in a regular uniform as depicted on the photos?
Yes.
Of that night. Okay, take me to where you're at prior to ending up at 2300 East 36th Street North.
I'm at the division, just finishing dinner
At GID?
at GID.
Are you eating by yourself, or are you eating?
No, Jason, Roy, and Sandy Dunn came in there just about the time I was finishing up. But I had started dinner by myself, and then they came in with their dinner and sat down. We visited for a few minutes.
Okay, and I understand by checking the call notes, you receive a call, or you go to back somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you back?
Glenn Barnes, Adam 325. He's assigned a call. I think it's a disturbance or a domestic. I can't recall, but he needed a backer, so I came on to back.
Okay, do you know what location that would have been?
It's approximately either 300 or 600 East Seminole.
606 East Seminole Place.
Okay.
You leave GID.
Yes.
And you've already eaten. physically, are you feeling fine?
Yes.
Mentally, is everything good?
Yes.
Okay. So you leave GID, what happens?
I leave GID and I turn west onto 36th Street and start heading west toward Cincinnati. Because that my thought was I can just go to Cincinnati and go down, because it was just my thought. And I can go down to Seminole and back over.
Okay, so what happens?
Okay, so as I approach the intersection of 36th Street North in Lewis, there's a car in front of me. And the light is red, so I'm slowing down. I see the car in front of me go off to the left where the turn left. And what I see in front of me is this man. And he's in literally the middle of the westbound lane, and he's just standing there like this. He's not
with his
moving.
head down.
With his head down, his hands are beside, his arms are just hanging beside his legs, and he's just motionless. And so, like I said, I'm slowing down, and so as I approach, he looks up, he sees me, and he turns his body to the right. He's watching me because my car's coming up, so he's following me, and he begins walking to the north curb line of 36.
Now,
Toward-
let me interrupt you, I'm sorry, but you're facing this way. Which
I'm
way
facing west.
Okay, so
And he
as
is-
you're showing him,
I apologize.
which direction is he facing?
His body is facing south.
Okay. Okay.
And so my car is coming this way, from the east. And he's just motionless. He looks up, he sees my car, and he doesn't leave eye contact with my car. I thought, when I first see him, I'm like, what's up with this dude? Something strange there. People don't just stand in the middle of the street. But as he turns to his right, he goes to the north curb line. I thought to myself, okay, he's out of the street. I've got to go back my partner. So
Can you describe him?
he was very tall, black male, wearing a white shirt and some baggy pants.
Age range?
I thought that he was like maybe late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
And very large. He's a very large man. I thought, man, he's like 300 pounds. My visual of him was about 300 pounds. And so he walks to the curb line. He just touches the curve of the corner where 36th and Lewis meet on the northeast corner. And he then walks to westbound to the cement center median, and he just stands there and he just watches me as I pass. And so I'm like, okay, well, he's out of the way. I'm going on. But it's that look that he was giving me. I'm like, he's on something. He's not being normal.
Okay, I know that we as police officers see that look a lot. Do you have any special training that would enhance your ability to say he's on something?
I'm a DRE,
Which is
a drug recognition expert.
For those of us that don't know what that is.
I'm a drug recognition expert.
And how long have you been a drug recognition expert?
Over 2 years.
Okay, so you're certified. What does that do? What does that mean to somebody that doesn't know, like me? I don't know what that is.
I went through a total of not only to identify the psychomotor aspects of someone who is impaired on drugs, their physiology, their behavior, their the signs, symptoms of being intoxicated on a specific type of drug. And it could be multiple drugs. So this exam is 45 minutes to an hour long. And it includes taking blood pressure, temperature, your pulse, looking at the pupils, getting the size of those, having them do different SFSTs, and also looking at different signs that the body does. Do they sweat? What's their behavior like? Are they slow? Are they really fast with the way they talk? Or are they sweating a lot?
So this is training you had,
Yes.
right, in almost a clinical.
Yes. It's a
Aspect
clinical
of it.
setting. So
How does that relate to what you saw?
what I saw was a person who was showing the signs of someone who was on PCP. It was this zombie paranoia type of behavior. Like he was distant. And I just got that part from right there, just the way he was looking, but he was looking, oh no, he's paranoid sort of look. But that was just the initial, I hadn't made contact with him. It was just, that was my thought. Someone who's just standing in the middle of the road, behavior that's not normal.
And
That's what I
that's,
see.
that is as you're driving past.
That's as I'm driving
And this is
past.
just all going through your mind.
Yes,
Okay. You're still intent on getting to the back of Officer Barnes.
yes.
Okay, and one thing I find interesting that you say is that he acts as if he's on PCP. Is that documentable in your training, that that's the way they act, or is that professional opinion that you see?
It's both. It's professional opinion, because I've seen a type of behavior before in other folks when I've gone on different calls.
Okay.
It's just an erratic type of behavior, and that's one of the listed
Okay.
signs and symptoms is erratic behavior.
All right, so you're now past him.
I'm past him. I've gone through the intersection of 36th and Lewis. Still heading westbound on 36. I look ahead and I see the vehicles that something's not looking right, and as I approach even more, I see that there's a vehicle canted in the road and just there. I'm like, what's up with this? So I come on the radio, because this is something I can't just pass up. It's blocking the roadway. Cars can't get by. The second thing I'm thinking, why is there a vehicle in the middle of 36th Street? This is not common. I see broken down vehicles on the side of the road, but not in the middle of the road. So I'm wondering, okay, is it broken down? Is there someone hurt inside? Is there been a drive-by shooting and someone has, over in the trees in the woods or something, There's a lot of things going through my mind about what's with this vehicle.
Can you describe the vehicle?
It was a SUV, white. I think it was white. But it was a SUV. I know
Okay.
it was a SUV.
Do you notice if the car doors are open, any of them?
No, there's no car doors open.
Okay.
So I get on the radio, and I tell dispatch that they're going to have to start another backer to Adam 325 because I have an abandoned vehicle in the roadway.
Okay. And you give the tag number?
Oh, yes, I give the tag number.
Okay. What do you do? Do you turn on your lights?
I put it in position 1, which activates the little lights in the back.
Are they red and yellow, or are they?
They're red and blue.
It's been a long time. Did you put your spotlight on?
No, it wasn't dark.
So the spotlight on the side is not on and facing the car?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so you do that in position 1. Does that activate your in-car camera?
No.
Okay.
I'm not taking any type of enforcement action. I'm investigating something to help there's an abandoned vehicle. So I just put it in 1.
Okay, then what do you do?
I step out of my car. I've got the door, as the door is still open, I thought, it sounds like that vehicle's running. So I shut my door and take a few steps closer. It is running. Okay, so now things are really starting to seem weird to me. So I approached the vehicle just more cautiously, I guess, than I normally would, because this is different than I've ever experienced before.
Do you draw your gun at that point?
No,
Okay.
no. But I stayed close to the vehicle, along the side, and I'm looking to see if there's anybody inside.
Passenger side or driver's side?
I'm on the driver's side. I first look in the back passenger. On the driver's side, I look in the window. There's no one there. I can see the front passenger seat. There's no one there, so I continue to approach and I look in the driver's seat, and there's no one in the vehicle. So my immediate thought then is, okay, where's the person that this belongs to? So, so I'm here at the door, and I turn, and I'm looking. I'm also at the same time thinking I need to go around to the other side, because I haven't seen what's on the passenger side. Because where I'm sitting and where I've been, I haven't seen the passenger side of the vehicle.
Okay.
So I don't know what's on the other side. So I look, I start walking, take a few steps back, I take it toward the back of the vehicle. Whenever I see the man that was just at the intersection, I now see him on the north curb line, and he's come closer to my vehicle, and we make eye contact, and so I start walking toward him, and he's making an angled across the roadway toward me. And I say, "Hey man, is this your vehicle?" And he says something, but I can't understand him. And he's still approaching. I said, "Hey man, is this your vehicle?" And he starts putting his hands in his pocket. I'm like, "Hey man, go ahead and take your hands out of your pocket, okay? Is this your vehicle?" And about this time, we're from here to maybe the door, right there, okay?
Is this behind your patrol car?
We are, yes. This is my car. We're on the driver's side rear bumper.
Okay.
He is standing right there at the rear bumper of my car.
Okay.
And I am about right here, 20 feet, maybe.
Okay.
He's facing me, I'm facing him. He goes to put his hands in his pocket, and he's just staring at me. And it's not an expression of wanting to, hey, get help. It's his head is tilted down, his chin is low, and he's looking upward like this. His brow, he's looking up through his brows. Okay, and he's saying something, but I can't understand him. I said, "Man, take your hands out of your pockets." And he goes like this. And I said, "Hey man, is this your vehicle?" And he goes like this. And he puts his fingers into his pocket. I said, "Man, take your hands out of your pocket now. I'm starting to cover my gun at this time." And he just looks at me, and he turns
to his right, where he's parallel with the bumper of my car. And at this point, I get on the radio and I say, Adam 303, hold traffic. I've got a subject that's not complying, or he's not taking his hands out of his pockets. I said something like that. I don't remember exact words that I said. But so he's walking north parallel with the bumper of my car, and I'm in ready gun. Man, stop. Show me your hands. Show me your hands now. He puts both of his hands in the air and he stops. He makes a half turn to his left. Now he's facing west at the back bumper passenger side of my car. He's got his hands like this and he just looks at me. And it's like this. I said, man, stop right there. You stay right there. And I'm walking my way, angling, I should say, to where the bumper of the car there. He's right here facing to the west, and I position probably right about there. And I'm thinking, I'm by myself. He is very big. His behavior is not right. Something is not right here. So, okay, he's intoxicated. He is not obeying my commands. I'm thinking he's got a weapon in his pocket, because that's my immediate thought, is he's going to his pocket. And I've told him several times, don't put your hands, or take your hands out of your pockets and show me your hands. And so I tell him, get on your knees. Get on your knees now. And he's not doing it. So, man, get on your knees. Get on your knees now. And then he just looks at his vehicle. His hands are up. And he starts taking steps to the front of my vehicle. His hand drops to his pocket. Man, get your hands up in the air! Get them up in the air! And so he gets them back up in the air, and he's at the front of my car. And I tell him, stop! And so he stops, and he still has his hands. But he's positioned his body to where he's facing his SUV. And he just stands there and he's mumbling. This whole time he's saying something, but I can't understand him because it's very, very low. And it's just unintelligible. He's not doing anything. He's not stopping. And so he's standing there. He looks at his vehicle, and he looks back at me, and I can hear there's a siren coming. And so he's been looking at me, and then I could see him look beyond me, and that he just starts walking toward his vehicle. And I said, stop! Stop right now! You need to stop! And I'm following because I don't want to lose visual on him. Because I don't know if he has a gun. I'm scared that he's got a gun in his pocket.
You're walking behind him. You see his hands up, and he is not stopping.
He is not stopping. I've told him over, stop! Stop!
Okay.
He goes on around his vehicle, and he goes to the driver's side. I've come around. He drops his arm, and he goes, and I said, stop! Stop! He didn't stop. I thought he was going for a gun. And I took a target. And I shot him in the side. In the chest.
Okay. Take a minute.
I thought he was gonna kill me.
Here, Betty, come up here and let's wipe your eyes. And you can get something to drink, okay?
Let me get something to look better than.
I've never been so scared.
Let's take a break while he's going, okay?
Remember first.
It'll be okay. Just breathe, okay? Just breathe. Thank you. It'll be okay. Just collect yourself, just breathe. Ready to go on?
I'm good, thank
Okay,
you.
you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
I'd like to go back to the point you see him walking towards your car, and you realize you're going to engage him again. His demeanor, is it any different than what you saw on 36th Street North as you're driving past?
No.
Do you think, again, through your DRE, or then you're in a different mode? I mean, are you saying he's still under the influence of something?
He's either under the influence of something or he's having a mental health issue.
And as you approach the left rear of his car, now just to be clear, we saw the video,
Yes.
are you cognizant of anybody else with you?
No. I thought I was by myself.
And if you can remember, as you demonstrated here, you were saying stop.
Yes.
Are those the words you remember saying?
Yes.
As you relived it right here, was that what was happening?
Yes.
You fired one time.
Yes.
What was his reaction?
He stopped. And then he fell. He did like this, and he fell.
Okay. If question is did you have any consideration to following up with another shot?
No, because the action stopped.
Okay, so the one shot did what you meant it to do.
Correct. I only used the force that I needed to stop.
And as you explain it, you don't know that Officer Turnbow is just to your left, which would be south.
Right.
and you don't remember him, and I know you explained this, but let me ask. His statement is that he told you he has a taser, and you responded okay. You don't remember, do you remember any of that?
No, I do not.
Okay. Do you remember looking at the backdrop?
I remember that the vehicle was there. His vehicle.
His vehicle?
There was nothing beyond where I was seeing.
Okay, so everything that you could see beyond him was not a human.
Correct.
Okay.
There were no vehicles, no people beyond.
Was your shot intentional?
Yes,
And why did you shoot?
because I was in fear of my life. I thought he was going for a gun. He dropped his arm and he lunged inward.
And could you see that when his lunging inward broke the plane of a window?
Yes.
So his window was,
His window was down.
and you
The
knew
windows
that?
were down on the vehicle all the way around.
Okay, and you knew that prior to him getting to the window, or to the vehicle?
Yes, because I had been up there before to check for any persons in the vehicle. I didn't check it for weapons or anything like that. It was a quick, is there somebody in here? And then I turned my attention to find the owner, if I could.
When were you first cognizant that you had other officers with you?
After the man had went to the ground and there was blood coming from his side, I then took a breath and I looked to my left and there was Turbo.
What actions did you take after that?
I looked back and I just continued to hold my position and Turbo said, you need to put your gun away.
Speak up a little bit,
I'm
Betty.
sorry.
Because it's so important that we get all this recorded.
I looked back at Turnbow, and then I looked back at the scene ahead of me. I still had my gun drawn, and Turnbow said, put your gun away. And so I put my gun away. He said, we need to go back here to the back of the car. And so he led me to the back of the car,
Okay,
of my car.
as you are continue to cover the person that's down, do you say anything that you remember?
I said, I shot him.
Do you have any recollection of time from the time you make contact with this individual, walking down the street where you start giving commands? Do you know how long that was until the time you took a shot?
No.
You have no concept of how long you think you were there?
Maybe 2 minutes, a minute. I've seen the call screen, and I know the time on the call screen, but I don't know how long.
Okay. That's a good answer, that's fine.
It was a very long time. It seemed forever.
As you are walking behind him, and I know you've seen it, with his hands up, what is going through, as you take action, what is going through your mind at that point?
What's going through my mind is, because I've seen him look back at me, look at the vehicle several times. He's looked at the vehicle several times like he's making a thought of what to do. So when we were back at that corner, he saw the police car, I assume, or heard the sirens. I was hearing the sirens at that point. And he looked like he was looking at a police car, or the sirens in that direction. And then his pace picks up, and I thought, because he's looking at his vehicle. Crap, he's going for a gun. He's going for a gun. I know he's going for something in the car. And so that's what I was thinking as he was going there. And then he gets to the window, and he's got his hands up. He looks at me.
At that point, let me stop you right there. At that point, when he's looking back at you, what are you thinking at that point?
He's trying to get my position so that he can reach for a gun and shoot me.
And at that point, you're still not cognizant of Officer Turnbow being with
No.
you. All right. So now you are at his left rear tail position of his vehicle. He's at the driver's side door. For ballistic cover, what is your thinking on that? Do you have any good ballistic cover at that point?
Oh.
And for you to get to ballistic cover, what would you have had to have done?
Go back to my vehicle and go onto the passenger side of my car to put me in the engine between him and me, and I would lose visual contact.
And that was something you were unwilling to do?
Correct. I didn't want to lose visual contact with him.
And as you're backing up with Officer Turnbow, and you get back to your police car, do you remember saying anything at all?
Yeah, I told Turnbow again, I shot him. He said, yes, I know you did. And if I'd had a gun, I would have shot him too. If I had my taser out.
Without knowing, and at that point, do you know that Officer Turnbow tased him?
No.
Do you think there was an opportunity to use a taser? Do you have a taser? Are you equipped
I
with
do
a
have a
taser?
taser.
At the opportunity that you take your shot, would it have been feasible for someone to use less lethal at that point, in your mind?
No,
And why not?
because there wasn't time to do less lethal. In my mind, he was going for a gun, and you don't tase someone that has a gun.
It's Jan, Nikki 6. James Hetfield is sitting in with us tonight. Speaking of, pleasing your fans and always being their band, do you find it really hard?
Which way are they facing?
Now?
They're facing westbound. I think he may have just been tasered. Shots fired! At 321, we have shots fired. We have one suspect down. We need him to here.
My sanity, my body, and my body and spirit goes.
Please, well, we're going to need to get eastbound 36th Street door. Actually, just going to need 36th Street door shut down. That's Lewis, and then probably back off about 3 or 4 blocks to the west of there.
That's what we're up for. So I tell you,